whatever Jordan did, whatever he said, there's a nonverbal, there's a tick, there's something to Jay. And I don't know what it was, and if Jordan kept doing it, what the edit was or anything like that. I am telling you, if I saw that nonverbal tick out of Jay where he gets upset, I would have kept pushing that button over and over again. Yes.
He's such an eye.
Even though he would say, like, I'm in power or whatever else, like, he lost something somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan, and you can just tell Jordan did it. And maybe I've never shook hands with Jordan. I've never even been in the same city as Jordan at the same time. I'm telling you,
don't
like,
know that.
But I'm just saying that I would know if I'm in the middle of like negotiating something to be like, oh, I got this guy.
Oh, for sure.
And there was a tick, there was a nonverbal, and Jay was trying to be.
He kind of like. Got just a little bit,
and Jordan had it. Jordan knew it, and so what Jay was doing at that time is he's like, I'm not going to allow this guy, even though he knew he had lost the nonverbal and the verbal. I'm not going to allow this guy to get it. Jordan already got it.
What up, Challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 6 of the challenge, Ride or Dies, titled Michele or High Water.
Yeah. Again, 90 minutes. I'm not...
It was kind of long.
Yeah, it's another 90 minutes. There's good, there's bad. There's more good, I would say, in this. But 90 minutes doesn't really happen. But, like producer Klinger says, 46 episodes, you can tell when... I'm very more comfortable with you when I'm like start stretching and that. I saw some of the pictures from Facebook where I was grabbing my arm and doing whatever else. So yeah, 46 episodes, we're into this.
Oh yeah.
Really found its voice in the 46th episode.
Yeah. Michele or High Water. Really, really bad titled one. But we can break this down as far as you want to in this whole thing.
All right, let's do it. Starts following the win of Laurel and Jack with 2 Ks.
Yeah. Don't believe that's his birth name, but it's okay. Yeah. Someone can Google that for us.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
Well, you know what? Jay's not my birth name either, so.
True.
Yeah, so
Sarah is my birth name.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
So 33% of the
maybe I shouldn't be so
mentioned.
judgmental about things. Maybe.
They're going out, celebrating. Notice right away they are heroing Olivia's chest in her top.
Great.
Holy
great
bubbies.
Top. Great top.
I had to go back and look.
Yeah, we didn't get enough of it.
Great. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I got Nelly and Kenny playing Jenga. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, this is why 90 minutes is not worth our time. Like, there's a lot of... I'm going to come back this a lot, folks, by the way, who are watching. I'm going to say, like, this is a waste of 90 minutes.
And realistically, like, I wrote down so many different conversations that happened this episode because there were a lot.
Yeah.
In regards to who they were going to put in and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to try not to just go verbatim through the episode because that's boring. Y'all watch the episode. And you guys know every week we watch the episode together.
Sure do.
Immediately film and record. So this is a fresh take Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Going through it. Anissa and Jordan have a cute moment that I really did enjoy, though. I actually got teary, which is not a surprise. I got that big heart.
Okay.
Because Anissa says when they were rowing in that previous challenge, she was, kind of like worried for him. She's like, I didn't know if he was going to be able to figure it out. And she just, she's continued to be impressed by him with his situation.
I think when we talked about this, when the show was going on, I think we need to recognize that there are people out there that haven't watched season after season after season of Jordan. Okay. So if I sit there and say, like, we don't need to harp on it or whatever else, but I mean, 2-3 episodes ago when Jordan came in, I'm like, this guy's a stud. This
my God,
great,
blah,
Jordan. Blah, blah. So I see it, but I think that's the thing I need to recognize. Like, there are people out there that don't watch it religiously.
Could be potentially
like we do.
refinding the show. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, most of the time I forget it even exists. Like, I forget that he has this,
that's a great point.
I forget about it.
And that's what Jordan would want. He
exactly.
Would never, that's a great point.
And he does say, he's like, I struggled with this as a kid. Like I wanted to be accepted. So I knew I had to be that much better at everything. And we see the picture of him, baseball and wrestling and all the sports he did growing up. Just wonderful. And then Anissa touches on, representation.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I love the idea, for both of us, Jordan with his situation with his hand and her. And she's like, there's people on TV that are, they're going to see us and they reach out and they say, like, oh, this person looks like me and they're also Jewish. Like, that's nice to see. And, and that's awesome. Yeah. And that's something that with Real World and MTV, I feel like they have constantly done a really good job of that. They have been way ahead in representation, which I really appreciate.
And I think that my whole thing is like where I'm just looking at it, I'm like, oh, we've done this before, but we have to keep in mind that there is somebody that might be flipping or streaming something new.
Right.
They'd be like, who is this or whatever else. And so they're reintroducing someone who is really, really good at this game. And again, the fifth major sport in my eyes, and no one can convince me otherwise. So I truly love the show. I love the sport, and Jordan is great, and Anissa's great. You know how much I feel about Anissa. I think she's going to be. I think when she's finally done, she's going to be a great producer.
Yes.
And Jordan, he can go for as long as he wants to in this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here. Nani and Johnny are having a conversation just about their closeness, and she's talking about everything she just went through with the passing of her mother. I noticed Johnny was wearing this nice white denim jacket, which you were not particularly a fan of.
I don't want to see this at all. No, I don't want to see this white denim. I don't want to see
his
ripped jeans that are pre-ripped or whatever else. Like, Johnny, just this whole thing. Like, I'm telling you, this is when I told you, and you paused it. Again, take your drink now. For those loyal fans, when I say this, foreshadowing, Nani and Bananas are winning the series this season because they are building this for Nani, and
absolutely
a lot of times in this episode when she starts to take over in this, and she's like, "Well, I'm here to win. I'm here to win." She says, "Like, you've won 7 times. You're the goat. You're the goat. Whatever else, legend." Blah blah blah. This is set up for her to win.
Absolutely, it's hers to lose.
Yes. So we don't know.
They're doing everything they possibly can to facilitate the high potential of that being what happens.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, she says she goes through the whole thing, and we go through the whole story, and good for everyone who hasn't tuned in from episode 1.
Absolutely.
You're caught up a little bit.
In regards to Bananas' jacket, I was noticing more denim jackets as the episode went on.
Is that a thing now? Is that?
I mean, denim jackets have always kind of been a thing. I mean, look at Back to the Future. That
was 1985.
Okay, then there's been people still wear. I mean, I have a denim jacket I've worn this year. Looks cute with like a little dress.
The last time I had a denim jacket was in 1987.
1987.
And I gave it to my girlfriend Ellen Smith to wear my jacket because yes, I didn't have a Letterman's jacket at the time, so I gave it to her in 6th grade. That's the last time I had a denim jacket. I have no idea why I would wear one. But then I did have remember the denim shirts you wear with the khaki? Well, the dudes wear with the khakis. Right before, and then James Vanderbeek just overdid it in Dawson's Creek. But I had a denim shirt, a jean shirt.
Those were, and those were in for quite a while. And then
I also worked at
come
American
back
Eagle, though.
Right, so. And they've come back for the men.
I'm not wearing any of those.
No.
Not the denim jacket.
I struggle with the denim on denim. I just feel like I can't work the Canadian tuxedo quite right.
I'm not wearing a denim jacket. I'm not wearing a denim shirt ever again in my life. And I'm not wearing jean shorts ever again in my life. It's not happening.
Okay, so today is...
I'm telling you right now, it's not
November
happening.
16th. All right.
Timestamp it all you want. It's not. I'm not going to wear it.
Okay.
It's just I can't imagine why I would do that. Why would I?
I don't know. Just try it out. Feels kind of nice.
No, I'm 46 years old. I like what I wear. It feels good.
Anyway, on the dead, okay, I will allow it.
So Bananas is 40 years old. He can wear that stuff, I guess. It's fine. You liked it.
We see Horacio in a denim jacket in his interview. Looks very, very nice. We also see Chauncey in a denim jacket in his interview.
One of 3 times you see Chauncey in this. I'm so over this Chauncey and Amber thing. I don't even know why they're on the show. Horacio, we'll talk about him. Oh boy.
But I'm already going to call it honorable mention on who won the episode, denim jackets.
Honorable mention. That's the last time we're going to talk about it.
I don't know.
Honorable
I don't know if
mention.
I'm done. I don't know. I can probably do another 10 minutes, but I won't. We got Jack and Jay working out. This is a great moment. I was really into Jack in this moment.
Speaking of
So-
honorable mentions. Yeah.
For sure. And Jack's like to Jay, I think the cameras are here for your apology tour.
Mhm.
Oh, I loved that.
It was so good.
So good. It was so good. And I like that he also admits what he said in regards to like in interviews and things about him.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah, I called you this. I called you this. I called you this. Doubles down in his interview, says, I called him garbage.
Mhm.
Got Darrell there smiling.
Oh, yeah.
Just like sitting down like between sets, just smiling. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, that's so me. Like, I'm not involved in this, but I kind of like want to hear what's going on.
Sure. See where it goes. And it just keeps,
Nothing's really accomplished from the conversation. Jack is hoping. I don't think Jay even apologizes.
No. Jay just keeps jumping rope. Which, great focus. But the thing is,
You were saying y'all were besties.
Yeah.
So whatever. Then I'm sad to hear that we have Laurel and Mariah talking. That apparently, Laurel and Horacio have been spending time together. It seems like it's been very innocent. Cuddling, talking.
long 20-second hugs type of things. Yeah.
Well,
That's
I mean,
weird. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that's not 100% innocent. Like if you're with somebody, that's not,
Sure.
But we're not seeing, them under the sheets and gyration happening.
No.
You
But
know?
I mean, we shouldn't be surprised. You paused it, and I'm like, this dude said he will admire you from afar, wait 6 weeks, and then so basically I believe his 6 weeks has been exposed, and now he's like, well, now I like this girl because 6 weeks came up, and Laurel's like, huh? Now,
Because it says he's been talking to
yes,
a girl back home that he's interested in. They're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but
sure,
it's making Laurel feel uncomfortable, and I get it. It looks like a overreaction.
I would, yes,
But-
because I was under the impression that Laurel was an adult, yeah, and not
But,
a 13-year-old girl, but yes,
But
okay,
you're in that situation, and you only know his side of the story, and obviously this is going to be televised. Now you're wondering, okay, how much of a fool am I going to look like? So then there's even more of the spiraling that goes with that. I mean, I get the thought process.
Okay.
Plus, dude's really cute, and he probably smells good. And like, you start to like somebody you haven't liked anybody in a little while. It sucks.
Sarah, he's gorgeous. I'm not gonna. We've established this. His hair never is in a bad situation. He looks good no matter what
He's really
light he's in.
nice.
I don't care. He could put on Fessie's turtlenecks, which are terrible, and he still would look great.
Mm-hmm.
He is a gorgeous human being.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't blame her for that. But it's a matter of just like, oh no, I just can't believe it. And I mean, the tears upon tears upon tears in this episode by Laurel. I can't.
Also,
She's better
I
in
think
this.
It's a jolt to your pride, It's a jolt to your pride when you're in a situation like that. It's like, and this is also heightened because you're in a show where there's nothing else to do, nothing else to think about, no other distractions. It's not like you're going to your 9 to 5 and you have your hobbies and TV and things to distract yourself. It's just living that. So everything's going to be heightened.
Yeah, I understand your pride. I get it. But let's just say the most gorgeous woman that I've ever been around. Okay? And she's a professional athlete. She's on Instagram, whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a house.
Mm-hmm.
And she said hi to me a few times. We had conversations. And then out of nowhere, she was like, I might be attracted to someone else. I'd be like, yeah, because look at you. No, nothing against Laurel. She's great.
Laurel's beautiful.
Don't get upset. He is a very good-looking dude. Like, there's nothing your pride should be hurt about. And he also waits 6 weeks till he finally talks to me. He already said, he's like, I look at people from afar.
I think he
Stalkerish.
just said that.
He said it. He did say it.
Right. But I mean, like, he just said that. I don't think that that's actually, like, we should die on this hill that he's like, I wait 6 weeks and stare at people creepily.
All right. Well, he said it. Not me. All right. But anyway, Laurel's very emotional this episode.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what? We don't usually see her. And you know that, like, I am, like, Laurel standout.
Can't be that big of a deal, because, like, what do we go right back into after that? Turtleneck Fessy, the decision maker.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, so
We'll get there.
Can't be that big of a deal for her anyway.
We get to the challenge, and, you know, last week I raved about TJ's outfits.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, like, a white V-neck undershirt on.
Yes.
And, like, what are they, like, olive green cargo pants?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not my favorite.
No, and the sleeves are very, very not fitting. Now, yeah. Oh,
I just have to wonder if, like, you know, as we know, he would go get coffee and say hello to that golden retriever every day when he was in Argentina. Maybe he spilled his coffee on, like, what he had planned to wear.
Possible.
And there was no other option.
Yeah, there is a flaw.
And also,
here.
everyone else looks very cold.
Yeah,
and
there
he's in a t-shirt.
Is a flaw here when he says this is the most badass competition ever, and I'm like, nah, it's not.
There were a lot of steps.
There's a lot of steps. There really was. And I looked at you and I go, huh? But he said this is the most badass challenge, and I am like, no, it's
I like
not
the
really.
ones when they're on the top of semis that are going. I like those. Those are badass.
Any of that, yeah. I'll take the one where Nelly couldn't drive the car into the bowling pins or whatever else. How can he say this is the most badass and do it? Like,
I mean, maybe he's just, like, super into ziplining.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
so yeah, take us through this challenge.
Okay, so it is called Down the Line. Like I said, there's a lot of steps. You race to your zone on foot. You dig out. There's 2 bags. Once the first bag has been dug out, one partner takes off with the bag. The other partner continues to dig. The partner with the bag does
it's like a
crank, hand crank.
There you go. Yeah.
And that releases something having to do with the zip line. So that'll release you to go further on the zip line. Once you get your second bag, you zip line.
Yeah. And
swim the rest.
Piece of puzzle. Yeah. Word puzzle.
You pick up you bring your puzzle pieces, you both solve. There's 5 words?
It would be Wordle for like 4 steps of Wordle, right? Is it Wordle like 5 words? 5 letters?
Know.
Anyway, but it's like 4 of them. Like, so if amigos would be, 5. I think it's 5. Pairs, amigos.
Yeah, they're all 5 letters.
Yeah,
looks like.
I think so. Anyway, but yeah, there's like 5. I think there's 4 lines of 5 letters each, or whatever else.
Something like that.
Yeah,
words, several words, and they all have to do with partnership, pairs, whatever. I did think it was easy. It was interesting that they're all English words except one of them was Spanish, but I suppose that wasn't like listed in the rule. They had to be English words.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of strange.
When Michele comes in and says Jay's got a Hispanic background, and then oddly enough, in the second heat,
Horacio, and then Tori and Devin like couldn't figure it out, and like even when they were saying it, because that was before they had told us what the word was, it's like we're looking at like an M and a G and an O, and I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm thinking that they must have gotten one of the other words wrong, and they're gonna have to like try to figure that out. But no, it was because amigos was one of the words. The first heat is Fessy, Mariah, Bananas, Nani, Laurel and Jack, Tori and Devin, Anissa and Jordan, and Jay and Michele. The highlights from that being Bananas and Nani get into a fight.
Yeah, but he wasn't even like from the very beginning. There's something off on Bananas this one.
Yeah, he was when they're going down the zip line. He's like gyrating with his legs, and I even looked at you and I'm like, is he trying to get momentum? And you're like, no.
But before that, it was like she's like, I'm gonna crank, and he's gonna do it, and he's like, oh, you're gonna crank my yank, like,
oh yeah,
there's something off, like with him, like from the very beginning. So when they're trying to do the words, he's like, what? And she's like, stop.
He goes, let's separate vowels and consonants, and he goes, do you know what a vowel is?
Do you know vowels? Yeah.
And that's like, we all have our hot buttons. That's my hot button. Like if you talk to me like I'm stupid, like I will lose my mind.
Okay.
Like, and I feel like that might be one of hers too.
Yeah.
And so she's seeing him not taking it seriously. And she's like, look, later they talk and she's like, look, you've won 7 times. I've won 0 times. Like this means a lot more to me than you. Take it a little more seriously. But she definitely loses her cool in the challenge. and they're arguing with each other. And he's saying in his interview that he doesn't like that we're doing this publicly. We could have this conversation in private.
Yeah, either
it
way.
at least made it entertaining to watch.
I think he was just off. I don't know what it was. And honestly,
Who knows?
And oddly enough, I think if chronologically how this episode goes, if they really did go out the night before, I think it might be
hungover.
Yeah, because remember, like right away when the episode started, I'm like, oh, they're going out early.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see him early beforehand or whatever else.
Right.
It's just it's not honestly it's not a bananas thing, and I watched
weird.
a lot of these seasons. It just wasn't him to be like, you're gonna crank my yank, you're gonna do this and that, blah blah blah. It was just off, and it's okay. Even if it's not, even if he's just like he was like, I think this is good. Bananas will be the first to tell you. I want to make good television. If he thought it was good television, it really wasn't because his partner was not getting into it.
No.
So.
Well, and I mean, he knows her well enough. It's like, when she's upset, don't like keep pushing at her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've known each other for at least a decade. Laurel has a poor showing. I've just never really seen her perform like that. She couldn't seem to find the bag and she was getting really frustrated. I mean, and she puts a lot of pressure on herself because everyone always says she's such a good competitor. She's performed very well on the challenge, and it just doesn't work out well for her.
The second time we see her get emotional over nothing, like I'm better than this or whatever else. Who cares? Dig in the sand, get over it. Like it's just, yeah.
Yeah, and again, we don't normally see that from her. So I think it's just different. We're not used to that. So the first heat, Jay and Michele get. Second heat, Olivia and Horacio. Winners are Jay and Michele.
Yeah.
And I'm instantly just like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to deal with these two teeter-tottering, not knowing what they're going to do, making the strangest, not making sense choices. And they're obviously going to be having to do with vets that we love. I didn't want to do it again. Like, can we not? I do not want them to win again. Yeah,
but I also like it because I'm like, this is a train wreck. I'm here for this.
I mean, true. I mean, it was more entertaining.
They're gonna come back. This is gonna come back to haunt them. So let's watch how it happens. Now,
and that's gonna be good when that happens.
I mean, I don't know. It had to be at least 3 times we paused this to be like, all right, who are they nominating? Just because that's what we do. We talk it through and like, what are they gonna do? They got it. This is what makes sense, right? I mean, I hope that's what you guys do at home too during commercial breaks or whatever else. So yes, it was a complete and utter nightmare. And I'm all for it. Yeah.
I guess Michele and Devin had made like a 1-day deal.
Supposedly before the last one, they made a 1-day deal.
If I win,
if you listen to Tori on Bananas podcast on Spotify, if you do listen to it, she said they made like a 3-time deal. Because that's what I was saying. I'm like, no, that's a 3-time or whatever else.
3-day pass.
Yeah, like a 3-day one. But then again,
who knows?
It doesn't matter 1 day. But yes, Devin is making deals, and you saw in the preview for those that watch at home that Devin's making a lot of Big Brother deals that he says. And remember when he first got on? I think it was the very first episode. He's like, "This reeks of Big Brother."
Oh yeah,
he's doing Big Brother type things. But I thought it was a 3 different thing deal. But
it's Big Brother, but it's also Wes.
Very
Wes
much
makes deals with lots of people.
Very good point, because Bananas does say to Tori that smells like Wes.
Oh,
very much on that when Tori brings it up. He's like, that is a Wes move. So. So they make a deal, but the rest of it is just kind of crazy.
Jay and Michele talk with Anissa and Jordan. And right before that, Michele had said, I don't want to put Anissa in to Jay. They have this conversation. It doesn't really lead anywhere, to the point where when those, or Jordan says something along the lines of like, look, we're not going tit for tat. Like, we're not going to put you in because you put us in. But if you keep doing it, like, then obviously it's on.
And they say, that's great to know.
Right. And then they leave, and then they're like, I think she said the F word like immediately when they walked out of the room. She's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and that was the beginning of this. Ugh. Okay. So in the deliberation, Jay and Michele come up with a plan we know they want Laurel and Jack.
Yeah, they have to. They're pot committed at this point.
And then Bananas and Nani come on the table.
Yes.
Which is interesting because last week they made a point not to put Bananas and Nani in.
Had a conversation.
Because they wanted to work with them. They wanted them to save them later.
Yeah.
Even though Bananas and Nani had put them in before. And everybody was like, why are you not putting them in?
They were never going to put them in. I mean, they were never going to like honor that agreement. But they said like, hey, we did you a favor. And Bananas said, I do recognize you did us a favor. I appreciate it.
And Nani was like, oh, okay. Thank you. We do owe you one.
Yeah.
But so now we're going to put in Bananas and Nani. And we're like, but you know what? We'll throw them a bone. We'll put in Casey and Kenny too. So that then Nani and her girlfriend are going to be against each other. But then they can save each other if they pull the safe dagger.
Yeah. You had 33% chance of getting. And
then they decide on Anissa and Jordan anyway.
And Laurel and Veronica are just fine.
Right. Which I'm good with. I actually kind of missed that in all of this gobbledygook. And you had to remind me. You're like, wait, they're fine. And I'm like, oh, Veronica and Laurel aren't in it? Oh, okay. Which we didn't see any of them this episode, other than Laurel smiling.
Yeah. So the interrogation goes well.
Yeah. And that is heavy, heavy, heavy sarcasm. So it starts with Laurel and Jack. Laurel actually starts the conversation. So different. And she's just kind of like, so, why did you nominate us? And Laurel's actually playing nice.
Mm-hmm.
Jack says he can't believe this because this is not Laurel. Laurel she would rather, he said, chew off her arm than, be fake nicey to someone.
And I'm here and it's free.
He said,
which is nomination for line of the night.
Nominated for, I mean, I was drinking coffee and I almost spit it out.
Nominated for line of the night.
It's the greatest scene, or it's the greatest thing I've seen, and it's even free.
It's free, yeah. Yeah.
Casey and Kenny, I was surprised. They came in kind of strong too. They're like, this is really dumb. So now you put my girlfriend in.
Yeah.
And, what's your point? I mean, Kenny said something. I don't know what he said, but hey, he said something.
Again, Kenny does, he does mention some things. And this is where, again, for those of you who don't watch Big Brother or whatever else, the term usually when you nominate someone's blood on your hands. There was a lot of blood on your hands coming into this here.
Yes.
This is not normal challenge talk.
Correct.
So Kenny's like, well, we come back as blood on your hands. If Bananas and Nani come back to the blood on your hands, blood. There was a lot of this during this interrogation, which normally doesn't happen. Again, we've watched almost, I would say, every single one of these. But
38
it was a weird thing. It was a weird to see this final crossover where it's like, oh, you're gonna have blood on your hands, you have a dirty game. You'll have a dirty game every once in a while, or this and that. But
snakes,
yeah. But Kenny said that's when he brings it up. He's like, you gonna have a lot of blood on your hands, guys. Like, we don't even know where your game is going in. And they're like, huh?
I know, and at this point, they're just starting fires. They're like, I'm just going to start fires and run away.
And it wasn't even Casey. And she doesn't have to say it too much, but Kenny was like, we have no idea where you're going with this game, and neither do you. So, yeah, and rightfully so.
Bananas and Nani. Nani is hot. She is an extremely, kind of like a mama bear situation, very protective of Casey. And she's like, okay, so that if she goes in, we're gonna have problems. And she's like, we're giving you this opportunity so you can save each other. You guys aren't gonna be our vote. And Johnny is being very diplomatic. He's saying thank you, thank you for, blah blah blah. He says he hates it because he doesn't want to talk like that to Jay because they have past beef. But I love the word placate. He says, I hate to placate to this guy. I'd rather throw up in his face than to look at him. But I'm gonna let Nani do whatever she wants. And she does say, she's like, if I go in,
Casey's coming back for you. If Casey goes in, I'm coming back for you. You got, and they're like, no, we're just saying, and they're like, she's like, no. But the thing that Nani needs to realize is it's just a game, and they did nominate Jay and Michele. That's the problem I have with that. That she doesn't just go, I get it. You gave us 1 week. Now we're here. Instead of come off like holier than thou, like how dare you do this type of thing.
So I'm going to bounce ahead in regards to that. So I do understand your process of being like, it's a game. People getting like so bent out of shape about getting voted in is silly. But here's where the anger and frustration I think comes in more is Michele keeps coming over and having these conversations with them, like apologizing and crying, like, I'm so sorry I put you in. And it's like, look, I'm already upset. I've got to get myself ready for this. And like, you're coming at me like all apologetic, but it's like, you obviously can't possibly be that sorry or you wouldn't have put me in. So that's where I would be coming from. I'm like, you know, like that's where like the anger would come from more with me. Cause it's like, I'm already angry about going in because I don't want to go in. There's an opportunity to go home. I want to stay. I want to win. But now you keep coming at me crying, wanting me to feel sorry for you for voting me in.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I am 100% with you. I'm not saying Nani lost this episode. For the second week in a row, I think Michele or Jay, we can talk about it at the end. They do it again. Lost this episode. I'm with you completely. But Nani does have to take a step back and go, well, we did nominate him. Instead of like being like, I can't believe you did this, and when we come back, we're gonna get you, blah, blah, blah. And it is going to. But guess what? Jordan says, hold my beer.
Oh my God, it was so good. Oh my God, it was so good. I don't know why this is making me like steel clap.
No, it was I was watching it like, is this for so real?
Chef
for real? Like
so
he's just
good.
basically like, yeah.
So Anissa and Jordan come in. And they say something about like how they're playing the game. And Jordan's like, you don't have to tell us about how to play this game.
That's right away, by the way, nominee for number 2. If Jack had it, if Jack said, and I get to do it for free, when he said, you do not have to tell us to play the game, right away in my brain was like,
it was
all right,
so
nominee
good.
For best line of the night.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good. And then, the conversation continues. And Jordan makes another point. And he says, here's the deal. Like, don't say one thing and then do another. That makes you weak. And Jay just loses his mind. So that must be like talking me stupid. Calling him weak must be his like hot button. Because then he's done. He sees red and he is not thinking logically. Obviously, Jordan's, what Jordan said worked. It got his goat. But sadly, that's what kind of put the nail in the coffin for them getting voted in. I don't know that they would have been voted in before. I think it would have been Laurel and
I think with Laurel and Jack, they right away because they even said going into that, like it's Laurel and Jack, right? But whatever Jordan did, whatever he said, there's a nonverbal, there's a tick, there's something to Jay. And I don't know what it was, and if Jordan kept doing it, what the edit was or anything like that. I am telling you, if I saw that nonverbal tick out of Jay where he gets upset, I would have kept pushing that button over and over again. Yes.
He's such an eye.
Even though he would say like, I'm in power or whatever else, like he lost something somewhere. And Jordan, and you can just tell Jordan did it. And maybe I've never shook hands with Jordan. I've never even been in the same city as Jordan at the same time. I'm telling you,
you don't know that.
But I'm just saying that I would know if I'm in the middle of like negotiating something to be like, oh, I got this guy.
Oh, for sure.
And there was a tick. There was a nonverbal. And Jay was trying to be.
He kind of like got just a little bit.
And Jordan had it. Jordan knew it. And so what Jay was doing at that time is he's like, I'm not going to allow this guy, even though he knew he had lost the nonverbal and the verbal. I'm not going to allow this guy to get it. Jordan already got it.
For sure.
So. And it's going to be brutal. Yeah.
Wait for next week.
Yeah.
So apparently, since Laurel is doing what most women do, from what I've gathered in the challenge world, is when they are heartbroken, they rebound by Fessy. In fact, I think someone even said that maybe in the reunion last year. So she's rebounding with Fessy right now.
Yeah. This guy.
Yeah. I still am not 100% sure that, like, they hit the business, though. They were cuddling. There was some under the cover stuff, but I almost wonder if she just was like, let's pretend so that I don't look so stupid. I don't know. I don't know if it's just so hard for me to think of somebody. I just am not attracted to him like that. So I don't understand why you would do that.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm not attracted to him at all about this. And
he did look better in his interviews today, though. I will say that.
This turtleneck was awful. And
there was a turtleneck.
He did have a turtleneck. Yes, he does.
In his interviews today?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
And it's like he's a personal trainer, right? That's why he wants to change things or whatever else, like his Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. He almost has like the Ric Flair man boobs. I don't want to start about how much I looked into Fessy about this, okay? But he is.
I don't think he does personal training anymore because he doesn't have to because of the show. Anyway, go ahead. I just don't think he does.
I just don't understand. There's got to be something.
The attraction. His lines are just. They remind me of when I see 8th graders kind of flirting with each other. But
Bananas
it works.
Would not.
It works.
I just don't get it. Bananas would. I feel like I've been around this character that long through this process that he would not even be friends with Laurel for being around someone like that. He'd be like, how do you fall for something like this? He does. She does. But I would never, ever be around anyone who is like, oh yeah, I'm just going to hug you or whatever else. Like this person, I'm sorry. I don't know the man, but it's just like weird to me that he has this much kind of like charisma.
Game?
Game, I guess is a good one. And he's like, it's no big deal. He's like, oh, yeah.
I would like to know, like, like, is it something that's not being shown on camera that we don't quite understand?
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
Ugh.
Laurel, I'm sure she got upset about it somewhere along the way. She got emotional. Who knows?
So we talked kind of about Michele talking to Nani and Laurel, basically. We already kind of hit on that. Jay and Michele have a heart-to-heart, and then Jay, like, cries, and he's like, I'm going to be her ride or die and help
I'm
her.
a ride or die.
I thought that was strange because I'm like, and I'm going to win for her, or I'm going to win, and I'm like, I'm going to win now, and I'm like, so what are you even, like, trying to do?
Yeah, that was dumb. But the only thing I liked about Jay, this is the only time I really like Jay, and I can't, when he does tell her, like, she threw her name in. It's a game, right? And she's like, yeah, I know, but blah, blah, blah. That's the only time I looked at Jay and I'm like, he actually kind of gets it. Other than that, the rest of it, it's all fake. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what, but he's not my guy. I don't know. I don't know what it would ever be that I'm like, I hope he does well. They're not going to win this season.
I found him intriguing his first season when he beat CT because I was just like, I would never expect him to beat him in a elimination.
Yeah.
Then his second season, I believe it was his second season, when it was the season where Devin was like, what's 8 times 7 to Josh?
Yeah.
And he had talked to Josh and was like, I thought we were adults, which I thought was funny the way he said it, adults. But he had a conversation with him, a very like grown up, made sense conversation about how we behave. And so I was like, all right, I'm on it. I also kind of like that he dresses like skatery,
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, I'm not loving these choices, and I'm not loving him this season.
Dead pair walking. It's incredible.
I was excited to see him again this season. I was like, okay, this could be good. Yeah, I'm not loving it right now. And Michele is just exhausting.
They have to win out.
I believe she has a good heart.
They have to win out. They are. No one's allied with that.
No, they're so screwed.
Yeah.
They're so screwed. I mean, geez, her and Amber have been like buddies and they're roommates, and Amber was even an option for her to put in. I was like you have like no loyalties to anybody at this point. It's, I mean, not so good. By the way, I'm not really going to touch on the music, just other than the music this episode, as far as for our now, that's what I call challenge CD, was not very good this
Nope.
episode. And also the like instrumental music during the challenges, there seemed like there was a lot of that instead of music.
Oh yeah, it's like
And
they
it
went
reminded me of like the Stranger Things background music.
I just think they went to Adobe Rush and they're like, what can we do for like a stock music?
Yeah, it
in
was
the background?
weird. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe like they were over budget that episode.
There was Fall Out Boy. There was the Yin Yangs, right? Ting Tangs or whatever else.
Yeah. I did like the
They're,
Ting Ting song.
by the way, they're not making our. Now that's
No.
what I call challenge music 24 disc compilation. Anything tonight. So
No.
good job.
We get to
Maybe-
the zone.
Yeah.
They vote in Anissa and Jordan.
Yeah. Based on their interrogation, I guess it was a drawn out.
I was surprised.
It was a drawn out like TJ saying this like how we had to do this blah blah blah. It was heated. Fine. Anissa and Jordan are in. Yeah.
And
Okay. Let's get to the safe thing. You tell me your theory because this is what I said. I said do not talk about it anymore. Let's talk about it on the podcast.
right.
Okay.
So I looked at you and I'm like, this is going to work exactly how it was planned. One of the two of them, meaning Nani and Bananas or Casey and Kenny, are going to pull the safe.
Okay. So let's go left to right on the television screen. Casey and Kenny,
Mm-hmm.
Laurel and Jack.
Yep.
Bananas,
say
bananas,
bananas a
bananas, bananas, and Nani. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Banani.
Now it's never banani. It's never been really whatever else. And you said they put it in front of them.
So my thought process is you don't have to pick the one directly in front of you.
You do
but
not.
often people do.
Sure.
And production can't, I think, puts them in the spot. It's not just everybody walk in. However they do it, I don't know, but they make sure that maybe the person that they want to pull the safe is in front of theirs. That's my thought process. It could be completely blind draw, but I just feel like they wanted Bananas and Nani to pull the safe, and it happened, and it was just right in front of them. And I don't know that it just happened. That it was a
You
coincidence.
sound more like me than I sound like me right now because how many times we've done this before and I'm like, production knows better. They know what to do.
Mhm.
And if you really pay attention to the last couple ones, it's been like the last one drawn or whatever else.
Yes.
Even though they've gone
And
cross
I
or
also
whatever
thought
else.
about that too. I was like, it's going to be the first one drawn this time. I thought that before it even happened.
So production or whatever else. Now they've got to do some type of random thing. I don't know, and it's one of those things like maybe they can, maybe they can't tell you what they do,
Mhm.
whatever else. But yeah, it was pulled right away. And no, you sound more like me. Like like production knows what they're doing. And
I feel like that one.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, come on. I mean, but who knows? Who
and
knows?
then I was fingers crossed, like my toes tapping, like Nani throwing Casey. Please,
There's
please.
no way. There's
I was
no way.
Do the Sarah on the mountaintop thing. Do the bananas. Make Bananas proud. Throw her in, but
She would never. But it did suck because Bananas and Laurel are friends, and he wanted to save her, but
Is he-
obviously,
are they-
I think so. I think they have a respect for each other for sure.
yeah, that's it's fine. We have respect or whatever else. But like, are they like? It's not that big of a deal. Does she need to cry about it again? Like it's one of three. Like it's a no brainer.
I understood how she explained it. She's like, I'm better in these situations if I'm mad, and then they're all saying how much they love me, and so now I'm like sad instead of mad.
Anyway,
So obviously they save Casey and Kenny, so that means it's gonna be Anissa and Jordan versus Laurel and Jack. The zone is called In Your Face. It's like a dodgeball. There are, I don't know how many blocks they said.
8. I think 4 across or 5 across or 8 or 10.
The cinder blocks.
Oh no, cinder blocks. No, yeah,
Maybe
that I don't know.
a dozen.
20,
I don't know.
Maybe 20. Maybe.
Blocks. They got to get them and they got to stack them. I don't know, maybe 10 yards somewhere else. Then the balls are released and then they have to chuck them. There's one player on offense throwing the ball at it's a circle of the
Sure.
face of the person. And then one player on your team is defense, knocking the balls away.
Yep.
Jack is defense.
Mm-hmm.
Laurel is offense. And then Anissa is defense. Jordan is offense. And we both pretty much called it right away. We're like,
yeah,
how this is going to go.
Yeah.
I just know that Jordan has a really good arm. Nothing against Laurel's arm, but I don't know a lot about Jack. And I just kind of thought maybe he was going to get tripped up and, just lack of experience in eliminations, things like that. Anissa and Jordan have a brilliant idea. Link their arms in the cinder blocks. Do
Jordan
4 at a time.
Yeah, take 2 at a time each arm. Yeah, I know you can do it. That's what he says. Jordan says, I told Anissa, I know you can take 2 at a time. And they, the people in the peanut gallery, for what you will, were like, geez, they really got it right away. They were killing it. Yeah.
Because that did make, they had a little bit more time.
Sure.
You got to get 10 targets. It's going pretty well. Anissa's making some blocks. Jack mentions that when he would block one, Jordan would say, "Hey, good job." I thought that was nice. That's really good sportsmanship.
He did say, yeah,
nice.
He was very appreciative of that.
Yeah. He always seems to have really good sportsmanship in eliminations.
Who?
Jordan.
Sure.
Like to his opponent.
To his opponent.
Maybe not to the gallery.
Okay,
but
there
to
you
his
go.
opponent.
Right, yeah. Coming back, not so much. Yeah, but yes.
Oh, he did. It was so good.
Yeah.
So he like Babe Ruth's it. He calls his shot, or you said he.
Oh yeah,
what did you say? Did you say Lucas Scott or no?
Nathan Scott. He basically was like, "I'm gonna hit this one right now," and he did it. And like
he said, "What did I say?"
Yeah,
he pointed.
He pointed at Jay. He goes, "What I say? I'm coming back to get you," and then hit it. No,
that was nerve wracking because I was like, because I would do that and then I would miss and that'd be so embarrassing.
But if you watch that, you would think you could just stand in front of just one, the final one.
Yeah.
In the middle. But obviously we're not in there in the zone or whatever else.
There had to have been a rule about that.
Yeah, we had to be. Well, I mean,
something.
3 seconds, you want to be 2 seconds or whatever. But anyway,
something.
It might not have looked it's not as easy as it looks. How's that?
Yes.
But he did tell Jay, he said, I told you if I'm coming back. When I come back, you're in trouble. And he makes his last shot, which was unbelievable.
So excited. Yeah. Because I cannot wait for that dumpster fire. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. I want it to, I don't want it to be a one and done though. I want it to go on for a while. But I don't want them to still be in the house, but I want them to sweat it.
So you want them to still get thrown in, maybe pick somebody off. Let's just say an Amber or Chauncey. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about Jay and Michele.
Yes.
And then get thrown in again, pick somebody off that we don't really care too much about. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just start and finally that they have to the slow burn, they just go in. You think they deserve it?
But I also don't know. I think they do deserve that.
But
I also don't know if I can stomach more of that.
Well, I don't want them to be in.
I don't want them to win. Yeah.
Because I can't handle their.
It's going to be the same behaviors either way. Yeah. It's going to be the I'm sorry's, the I love you's, the tears.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the same either way.
I need more from these challengers. I really do. Mm-hmm. I need more from Amber and Chauncey. Mm-hmm. I seriously do. I'm over them right now. I really am.
I want to know what has not aired.
I'm over Nelly and Nerys. I'm over them.
Didn't see them at all, except Nerys had a pretty outfit on in her interview.
Mariah and Fessy, I'm over them. I need more out of these people.
Yeah.
And thank goodness they tell us they're going to bring us Devin, because Devin's deals are coming in.
We haven't seen any Devin. You mentioned that 2 episodes.
Tonight. You're like, what's going on? Where's Devin or whatever else? I need more of that. I really, really need more of that. And what I do like to see from tonight's episode, I like that Casey goes, the fire, and Kenny said too, fire's been lit.
Yes.
And something's happened here. So now I like
starting an army or something like that.
Yeah, they have an army. I don't know what army they have, because in my head I'm like, I'm doing math. I'm like, I don't know what army they have. What's she talking about?
5-on-5, 6-on-6.
It's not even close. What army do they have? Does Jay and Michele have?
Because so working together, probably. Bananas and Nani, Tori and Devin, Anissa and Jordan.
Keep going. Kenny and Casey. Darrell and Vonica are their free agents.
Okay, so that's 4 teams that we know would for sure be working together. And then the other group could be Amber and Chauncey, Jay and Michele,
Bessie and
Mariah,
and
then Darrell and Veronica are swing vote.
free agent. Nelly's a free agent too, though.
And Nelly, and so it's dependent.
No, they do
on,
not have the numbers
because there's 3 teams.
The free agents are the ones.
Yeah,
pay attention to Nelly and Nerese or whatever.
Nelly
else.
doesn't typically work with Bananas.
Nope.
Nelly and Jay are often in each other's Instagram stories like they're buddies in real life. So that leads me to believe that they would be maybe working with them.
So it's Darrell and Veronica that's a free agent that can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, to me, I was just like, this is so weird that they like think something of them, like But it was good to see that Casey finally aligned herself, because I never really. I mean, you would think Casey fine with Bananas because of Nani.
Yeah,
but you've never seen them talk before. And you put Casey and Bananas together. Have they
done a season together before?
No.
Casey and Bananas?
I don't believe so.
Their first one. The one that Bananas, the one in the bunker. The one that Bananas won.
Okay, yeah.
So they really but otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they came in, they were talking, and they're just aligned, basically, because of. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's her season to win. Period. But anyway.
Who won the episode?
Great question. Go ahead.
Jordan.
I think so.
Jordan freaking won the episode.
I really do think so.
Killed it.
Yeah, that's a good nomination, and I
we
will
had the
co-sign that.
heartfelt story that gave me tears.
Don't need the heartfelt story. It did not make me tear.
Was, amazing in the interrogation.
Yeah.
And obviously they won.
Great one-on-ones, great interrogation, won the zone.
Liked
everything.
his outfit in his one-on-one. You were mentioning the buttons were a little bit lower. I like that nice crisp button-up shirt on him.
But Jordan, I will agree with that. Jordan won it, yeah. And he had a great episode. Everything. His one-on-ones were great. Everything
Lines
they were saying
were fantastic.
Yeah,
Calling
it was good.
Shot. Beautiful. Calling
a shot was great, too. I think you act like we don't know how this game works. Yeah, all of it was fantastic. I think walking in this, I would have said Jack would have won it with that line. I really like that line that he had. But when Jordan came back in, he trumped it. He threw the right bower down. So I appreciated that a lot. So yeah, I'm with you with Jordan. Yeah. I'm going to go nominate Michele for losing this episode.
Yes. I think Michele and Jay.
Well, they were 1A, 1B. You can do whatever else, but that's 2 weeks in a row.
Jay was more irritating to me. Well, I don't know. It was just, I can't have them winning anymore.
But that's not winning to lose this episode. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I mean just like winning the daily, because it's too much, man. Like,
I guess the reason why I gave it to her was just like it's so ridiculous, like the way he's talking, that she's allowing to happen. And I'm like, I'm actually blaming you more than him. He's just an idiot to me.
It's the somewhat like lack of conviction in these decisions. Like, you're making big moves, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So stand by it.
Yeah.
It's a game, as you say. So this, I love you apologizing, coming and checking in. I'm not into it.
I guess I could do
it's exhausting.
I'm just about as fickle as those two dumbos are about who they put in the interrogation.
We can't decide.
So, like I said, I mean, when I talk about his nonverbal, how Jordan just is unleashing on him, I'm like, But Michele, nothing came across as strong. At least Jay was like, I'm doing this because of this, and I don't care. And he said to her, like, later on, he's like, didn't, Nani threw your name in there. And she was like, So that's why I think that's one that put it home for me. That at least he had reasons for his decisions.
Right.
Some of them. Yeah.
Cringeworthy moment.
Again, the interrogation?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't, and I thought they were going to be fine, and then it just got worse and worse. And then when him and Jordan are looking back at each other, and he's like, bro, don't put words in my mouth. Your insecurities on me. And like, I don't really think that's it. I think they just figured you out.
Weird.
Yeah. I think you figured it out. So
I mean, it's just in general, it's all cringe.
In Fessy and Laurel,
In regards to those
Fessy and
two.
Laurel dry humping is it cringeworthy for me too. Oh
Yeah.
no. What was pointed out by Chelsea? I'm sorry. I think cringeworthy going back on it when Laurel's getting ready and Fessy's like asleep in the background because they may or may not had done some things and he's just sleeping it off and she's getting ready to put her clothes on. There's a lot of cringeworthy moments in this. Yeah.
So cringe. What would Corey do?
Okay, what would Corey do? Okay. It's got to be something involved here. Where is it? Because the nightlife.
I think more antagonizing Jack and Jay.
But there wasn't as much nightlife because they gave it to us earlier in that episode. You know what I'm saying? That's where Corey usually does his work.
It's true.
What would have Corey done? Yes, I think you're right. You know, like to be. He would have been him and Darrell. He would have been. You were dead on. He would have been in Darrell's ear and been like, "Let's not let this die. Let's not." Yeah, Jay would have been jump roping, but I do like jump roping. I'm not gonna lie, but seriously, like Jay really made it seem like I'm jump roping, bro. I don't want to talk about it right now, but yeah. Corey definitely would
hard to talk when your heart rate's that high. But
Corey would have been right in Darrell's ear, like when Darrell made that smile on the camera, which you alluded to earlier. He would have been like, "We're not letting this go." So, yeah, Corey would have poked that fire a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
good. Well, that's the episode. I have just a tiny bit of tea, not a whole lot.
Sure.
It's not all happy stuff. It's kind of sad, so I apologize for
don't cry.
The bummers. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is. It's sad. CT filed for divorce.
Okay.
So, thinking about him, obviously hopeful they can, co-parent and all of that together, and hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, we're gonna work it out. Me and CT, we're gonna talk to his ex-wife. We're gonna make it all work together. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Laurel did speak on Michele on her Twitter. She said something along the lines of, when they were having that conversation in the bedroom last week, she's like, she was kind of what I've talked about. She was crying to me, like, feel sorry for me that I had to vote you in.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you want from me? So I thought that was interesting. And I wish that they would show more of that kind of stuff because, I mean, the show needs drama.
Yeah.
And that's to be connected. So
well,
I wish
Sarah, they don't have the extra time for this at all. What we need is slow motion running in water in 90 minutes. We don't have time for all this other stuff that will make
so
us
we got
connect.
fire back. So in the dodgeball,
yeah.
once they were out, then they caught on fire. So that was fun. The rings of fire.
Sure.
Do you remember Dee, who was on a couple seasons? She did like World of Worlds. She had been partnered with Wes. She was an Australian woman.
Yep.
So she had been essentially banned from the show.
Yes.
She had some inappropriate tweets.
Yeah.
And they actually ended up, the season that was currently airing, they just deleted her from.
Mm-hmm.
Which that had never been done before.
Yeah.
She started a podcast. She spoke out about this. Now, I need to listen to it myself, but Paige from Most Likely To podcast already listened to it. She gave me her take. She's pretty darn good at this stuff. So check out her podcast as well. She basically said in this podcast where Dee talks about it, Dee says basically she thinks that she was a scapegoat. The timing, she was like canceled too early. There are other people on the show that have done way worse and they are still on it. But what she doesn't do is apologize and take accountability.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference from like Jordan. Jordan was put on timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And he took accountability and grew. And that's why he's back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping the situation, girl. And so, yeah, I never was really a particular fan of hers. I thought she was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And she cried a lot.
Yeah.
And I've cried all the time, so whatever. But it was just I wasn't a fan of hers. And then hearing that she speaks out, finally breaks her silence about what happened with being canceled, and she doesn't take any kind of accountability. Yeah, I'm not super down for that.
I'm not either. I don't like to hear it.
And I don't even know if I want to listen to it because I'm like I probably shouldn't be talking about this if I haven't listened to it. But I don't know that I want to listen to her for like an hour.
To be like, yeah, but I don't think I want to either, to be honest with you. And obviously, we're going to throw out my favorite, Bananas, and he has apologized over and over, and he has mentioned multiple times that he would have been canceled if it was back in the day. The cancel culture was then. The way he acted, the way he responded to things, the way he spoke. But he says, I was young. I'm an idiot. This and that. But he does say, he at least says, I was young and dumb and just so stupid.
Right.
So
at least any kind of accountability.
Yeah.
Like
just say like, hey, misspoke.
Perspective.
Yeah. Perspective is a great word. Absolutely. Just like that somebody's not going to be too happy about it. But I don't know.
So I'm good
I
on
waste
her.
my time? Do I need to drive somewhere far? I don't
Right.
know. Maybe I'll listen to D. That's about it. But I don't know.
I hear you. Something positive. All Stars 4 is set to film early 2023.
Okay.
We have some ideas of people who are potentially going to be on it, but nobody's been confirmed yet.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Cara Maria?
Oh, that would be great, but I don't think so.
It'd be fun.
I would like that too. I know that Kyle kind of teased us on Twitter that maybe we were going to see him soon.
On All Stars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Didn't
we talk about this like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks
something
ago?
like that.
Like, isn't there like a time, like a 5 year
There's
thing
some
or whatever
people,
else?
like, last season,
Yeah.
I'm blanking on her name. She was with Jordan during All Stars.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
She hadn't been on that many seasons, though, is my point.
Okay.
So I don't think it has to necessarily be that, but there's been rumors about Coral.
Okay. Yeah.
Which Coral's fantastic.
That's
but
fine.
Coral is also a doula. I believe that's the
really?
term.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
She can't just like up and leave,
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll see.
All right. Well, that's it.
Follow us. Oh, and next week we are taking off because Thanksgiving. So everybody,
do they have an episode on Wednesday too?
There is, as of now. I see that there's an episode. So enjoy the episode. We will see you in 2 weeks.
So we got 2 episodes we got to do in an hour and 10 minutes.
Yep. No, we will absolutely.
And some change. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh no, because
yeah, it was.
So we're gonna have it's gonna hit the fan with Michele and Jay probably.
I know, but with the podcast we'll do an hour and 10.
Yeah.
Some
Oh,
change.
for sure.
Because we usually do about an hour and some change. Hour and 10, some change. Yeah. So yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, Instagram, Final Alliance, on YouTube. We are Final Alliance Podcast. Please subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we are Final Alliance Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
MTW, that's you?
Wait, you're my subscriber?